the fight's going to be boring as hell. Because any fight he's in is boring as hell.
Shakur is a really good boxer.
He's a good boxer, but it's nothing that stands out to me. It's just, okay, you know how to move, blah, 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 but it's nothing like Tank or me or
like somebody got to stand out.
Like yes,
like you're not just fighting
I
anybody.
see boxers all the time. I've been watching boxers my whole life. I know the ones that are different. He's not different. Shakur will do everything, not even to get like an ounce of hitting. Like he's scared to really lock in and get in there. Devin's not.
But Shakur, that guy will put anybody to sleep outside the ring, not inside the ring, because that's like he's the most boring fighter in the history of boxing. And they say whatever they want, they can hype him up and all that stuff, but I really feel bad for him because there's no way they could put him on pay-per-view. He can't sell a fight.
Boxing insiders are breaking down the upcoming Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson clash, and most expect Shakur to lean heavily on his mobility and defensive skills. Some call this approach boring and evasive, but supporters see it as pure boxing intelligence at work.
What do you think about the criticism that Shakur gets? Like, people say that he's
boring and all that.
he's not entertaining.
I mean, look, he's like an Andre Ward style. Andre Ward wasn't really that entertaining, but got the win. I mean, that's what boxing is all about. So I used to love watching Andre Ward fight because it was so punch perfect. I watched his footwork, how he moved to the right, to the left, and I trained with him as well, with Virgil. And I used to watch how he trained and how he fought, and I thought how he puts his hands there and uses it as a defense, and then pulls your hands down and catches you over the top, and them little things. So this is a fight that people get, because you got two different styles. You've got an offensive, defensive in Lopez, and you've got a defensive in Shakur.
The boxing community is buzzing about what could be the biggest fight of early 2026, with debates focusing not only on the winner, but on exactly how this battle will unfold.
It will unfold.
When it comes to explosiveness, I would have to go with Tio. When it comes to actual rapid speed, I would have to go with Tio. But when it comes to body punching, when it comes to good timing, when it comes to craft, I would have to give all of that to Shakur Stevenson.
What do you think, Doug?
They're both boxers. I look at Stevenson as a versatile technician. I look at Teofimo. He's a boxer puncher, but his specialty is his counter punching. Listen, if Stevenson wants to be on his stick and move game, very difficult style matchup for Teofimo, and maybe not that entertaining to the fans.
Because Stevenson's longer.
Exactly.
Stevenson's defense probably the best in the game, and he's longer.
Great reflexes and timing, and so does Teo. That's why he's a great counter puncher. But Teo's, he's a very special athlete, and as a competitor, he is one of those guys who saves his A game for a fellow elite opponent. That's when he really rises his game and shows us the Teofimo Lopez that everybody thought he was when he was a prospect.
Shakur Stevenson holds the undefeated WBC lightweight title and has built his reputation on defensive mastery. His footwork, timing, and ability to control distance make him nearly impossible to connect with cleanly. This approach brings both admiration for his technical skills and complaints about lacking non-stop excitement.
Some of your 135 contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Shakur Stevenson, well, of course, he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right, so why people even talk like he the best at, he didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 30 or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you, all that's just okay. How can you stop people that can actually hit? No matter all that boxing, you're going to get hit.
Teofimo Lopez brings a completely different energy with his explosive power, athleticism, and forward-pressing style. The former unified lightweight king, now holding WBO gold at super lightweight, thrives on forcing the action and hunting for fight-ending shots.
Shakur, we haven't seen him around 140. We have seen Teofimo do good at 140, so it's a tricky one. I think it's a 50-50 chess game inside that ring.
If you had to give somebody 51, the other guy 49, like the smallest edge.
You're going to put him in the spot. But only because I fought him before. I'll give him that 1% Shakur because I've fought him. I've never stepped in the ring with Teofimo. I've seen him fight, and I've seen him personally spar, and I've seen him. He's an amazing fighter. But I will only give him that one Shakur because I've stepped in the ring with him.
Lopez is convinced that constant pressure and combination punching can throw off Stevenson's timing and break down his rhythm before the southpaw can settle into his groove.
We want to be number one, in boxing, so to speak. He's coming for my crown at the, super lightweight division. And honestly, nevertheless, it's all about the fans.
Who has a better resume between you two guys, do you think?
Man, I'll tell you again, honestly, it doesn't matter until we hang up the gloves. I think that we still have such a long, depending how well we do with our health, we got a long career ahead of us, man. So this is just something for everybody for 2026. We started off with a bang, and we go from there.
Tim Bradley sees Shakur staying on the front foot, working behind his jab and using deceptive movements to keep Teo guessing while maintaining control of the fight's tempo.
Shakur ain't got a really move. Yeah, it sounds crazy. Shakur can actually walk to Teo. Yeah, he can walk to Teo. Yeah, long as he walk behind with the jab, long as he walk behind with feints, because feints throw off Teo. Jabs throw off Teo as well. He's a counterpuncher. Yeah, he's a counterpuncher. So if you can keep him off balance and keep him guessing, keeping that jab in his face, and you force him back, yeah, he moves his feet, but he makes a lot of mistakes. Gets himself out of position a lot of times. He's out of position a lot of the times, man. Brings those feet together at times. Oh, yeah. When he moves side to side, same thing. He responsibly defensively, nah. When he disengages, defense is whack. Trash. Yeah. When he resets, a lot of time he comes in the range, he's standing straight up. Come on, man. Shakur can take advantage of Teo not being that great on the inside, not being that great at mid-range.
Bradley notes how Teo frequently finds himself out of position with poor recovery, giving Shakur chances to plant his feet, anticipate incoming attacks, and rely on his sharp boxing mind rather than constant lateral movement.
Yeah, he ain't got to run from Teo. Nah, he can stand right in front of Teo. He could. Yeah. And see all them shots coming. For sure. You already know the punch selection that he gonna use. Punch selection gonna be he gonna try to use his jab at a rapid pace. Of course. He gonna try to out jab Shakur. Of course. Flicking it out there, flicking his jab out there, man. Trying to get some sort of response. Or flicking it out there, trying to just close the gap on Shakur. And he gonna throw the right hand downstairs. Yeah. That's what he gonna do. He gonna be looking for that right hand, then he gonna try to sneak him up top. Yeah. It's plain and simple. Sneak him up top. That's it. But if Shakur can stand his ground, if Shakur can evade and get right back in his space, right back in his face, man, evade and get right back in his face, right? When he's not set or ready to punch, when them feet are spread apart, Shakur can walk to him. Shakur can walk to him.
Lopez has made it clear he's training for a knockout finish and wants to silence doubters, particularly since he hasn't delivered a spectacular stoppage recently. His focus centers on landing that one perfect shot instead of trying to outbox his opponent.
I would consider you, out of you and Shakur, I would consider you the more explosive, possibly the more speed concerning like getting to the target quicker. But I haven't seen you really get the type of knockouts that made the fans appeal to the whole package and the whole system of you. Are you training?
You mean at 140 pounds compared to 135? Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
in comparison.
Yeah.
Are you training for a knockout? Are you training to do something to not just beat Shakur, but to beat him in grand fashion? When I say grand fashion, I mean going for the knockout.
Well, I think that the whole thing is the Bible of boxing really is that if you look for the knockout, you won't get it. I think really it's just all about setting the good pace early in the beginning rounds and then going from there, setting that tone. I think that I don't see him going those 12 rounds. This is his first time moving up to 140. A lot of these guys can say a lot of things about me not knocking them out or whatnot, but they don't come and try to fight me after they feel this power. So it's for a reason. It carries. It does carry. I mean, I had a good showing with Arnold Barboza. He was number one, my mandatory, and he was too hesitant trying to commit to punches. So I think that it's just something that's going to be a rude awakening for Shakur.
Hey, Doug, you hear that? He said the Bible of boxing. What else is called the Bible of boxing? Ring Magazine. And he's a two-division Ring Magazine champ.
Great ambassador for those championship belts as well.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm very big on those things. I claimed 2 weight divisions, 2 Ring Magazine belts in just at 25. You know, and I'm 28 now. I've been defending my belts now. I feel great. You know, and then most importantly, you know, this will be my 4th title defense with the ring and the WBO junior welterweight world divisions.
Stevenson plans to target Lopez's vulnerabilities and enter this fight relying on more than just movement, trusting his complete skill package. He's confident he can highlight problems in Lopez's approach through proper execution.
As long as I'm like locked in and I'm focused on what I'm supposed to be doing, nothing else matters around me. That 4-weight world champion, it means everything to me. That's me separating myself. A lot of these guys that they claim is the guys nowadays, none of them can say that they are a 4-weight world champion. He got a lot of weaknesses though. He's a very good fighter, but I do see a lot of weaknesses. He's not going to correct them overnight. It's going to be the same Teo that we done seen 1,000 times before. He's going to come out there trying to perform highly, and I'm going to take advantage of it. But as far as the weaknesses, I'm going to keep them to myself.
Lopez has responded with bold statements designed to prove Stevenson's reputation exceeds his actual abilities. He's labeled Stevenson overrated and promised to demonstrate that his defensive system has cracks. Part of Lopez's public approach involves making the fight messy and dragging Stevenson into uncomfortable trading situations.
I mean, we were stablemates, me and Shakur, top rank. He talks about this and that and about, I was jealous of him. No, I'm not. You were a 2016 USA silver medalist. You're going to get your signing bonus and all that extra stuff. Thing was, they were trying to secure him in a different route because they had put a lot of money in him. Me, I think I was just supposed to be an opponent eventually.
Lopez has questioned whether Stevenson can handle getting hurt and suggested fear of contact will become a factor. This narrative creates tension around Lopez trying to bait Stevenson into a more violent encounter, setting up a stylistic battle that could definitively answer whether elusiveness or aggression rules supreme.
You know, my mind is limitless, though. You know, so then again, it's like I could always succeed to another level with it, you know, and exceed to it. So it's really just trying to just keep it going, you know, keep moving forward throughout the whole time and throughout the whole process, and mainly just have fun with it. You know, you gotta have fun with what you do. You know, I love this. You know, I haven't stopped doing what I've done because of the fact that I enjoy what I do. You know, this has been 20 years in the making, 20 years in this, you know, and I have so much to do and so much to prove within myself. So mentally, I'm prepared. Physically, I'm more than ready, you know, and emotionally, oh, I'm on fire, you know, I'm on fire with it, you know, because all I ever did was try to be great, you know, and it's no longer trying. I am great. And it's all about just continuing and holding that. So it's all about just staying humble throughout the process, keeping myself level-headed, and really just enjoying each day that we get because tomorrow's never promised.
Shakur's southpaw, left hook, and Philly shell stance serve as his primary weapons against Teo. The Philly shell keeps his head protected while maintaining counterpunching range, allowing him to slip or block incoming attacks without losing composure or backing away. Staying calm within this defensive framework lets Shakur identify counter opportunities and time his responses perfectly. His left hook becomes most lethal when Teo loses his balance, capitalizing on moments of overcommitment or poor positioning. Mixed with head movement and intelligent footwork, these elements allow Shakur to control tempo, manage distance, and convert defensive sequences into offensive advantages, giving him the best chance to land meaningful fight-altering punches.
Yeah, Shakur going to that damn Mayweather defense, Philly shell, that left hook is coming. He gonna be looking for that mug all night long. That left hook, left hook, left hook. But just keep Teofimo off balance. That's all he gotta do is keep him off balance, man. Throwing them feints, fighting him off that jab, bro, it's gonna break his rhythm up, boy. He gonna struggle. He gonna have a hard time. But you know, Kambosos didn't rush in at him. Kambosos stayed underneath himself, stayed right there in front of him. That was it. Held his ground. That was it. Anytime Lopez would do something, Kambosos come right back with counters. Yeah, but he stayed close enough to get Lopez to react. And a lot of times Lopez fought angry that fight, so he left himself wide the hell open.
Ryan Garcia favors Shakur Stevenson, but admits Teofimo Lopez could spring a major surprise. Garcia explained that while Lopez might have trouble with Stevenson's slippery defensive approach, he might be slightly underrating Teo's capabilities. If Lopez makes the right adjustments and successfully applies his power and forward pressure, he could shock everyone with a victory. Garcia's perspective shows appreciation for both men's talents, recognizing Stevenson's cerebral approach while acknowledging Lopez's danger when his offense clicks.
Well, shit, I won't be surprised if Teofimo surprises us all, for sure. I think I'm underestimating Teofimo a little bit, but I don't think he can make the necessary adjustments to his own style to combat what Shakur does best. But he could definitely prove me wrong, for sure. And I won't be surprised.
Okay. I guess obviously if you win this fight, you're going straight to the Haney rematch, right?
And there's a bunch of options on the door. You got Conor Ben. I know they made that as a mandatory, so we could explore that option. There's so many different options.
Lamont Roach Jr. sees no path to victory for Teofimo Lopez against Shakur Stevenson. Roach has picked Stevenson to win their super lightweight collision, explaining that Shakur's boxing intelligence and slick approach will overwhelm Lopez and likely earn him the decision. He mentioned that Lopez typically has problems with skilled technicians and believes Stevenson's movement and game plan are sophisticated enough to outclass Teo without allowing him to impose his power. Roach's forecast shows faith in Stevenson's ring leadership and belief that his stylistic advantages work perfectly against Lopez. Despite Lopez's power and aggression, Roach still backs Stevenson's tactical superiority in this crucial encounter.
Who do you think wins that fight between him and Teofimo Lopez if they fight?
I think Shakur wins. And I don't think it's going to be like a super tough fight either. His IQ will frustrate him.
Don't you think Teo has also good ring IQ and also is slick, fast?
I think so, but when you look at Teo's performances against guys that are just pure boxers, it's just like he almost lost to Sandor Martin. Some people thought he lost to Sandor Martin.
He did beat Loma, who's arguably at the time considered one of the best in the world.
He did, and that was a hell of a performance too. So yeah, I mean, I think he's hit or miss. You got to think he got stuff. He a little cuckoo too. Like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while. Look at the Kambosos fight. Like that's a fight that people would never expect Kambosos to win, and he won a grueling match against him as well. So I just I don't know. I don't think he can get it done against Shakur when it comes to like because it's going to be just a skill match. I don't think he's going to try to rough Shakur up, and it's probably not going to work.
Shakur Stevenson intends to fight with composure, patience, and intelligence, emphasizing his ability to slow things down and force Teofimo Lopez to fight completely at his pace. His objective involves controlling distance, timing, and tempo, making every moment a subtle demonstration of ring dominance. Through staying disciplined, relaxed, and defensively responsible, Shakur thinks he can slowly break Teofimo down mentally before dismantling him technically. He expects frustration to mount as scoring opportunities become increasingly difficult to find, creating errors and openings. After establishing that mental advantage, Stevenson anticipates the fight shifting decisively his way, letting his accuracy, timing, and ring intelligence dominate and determine the result from beginning to end.
Demolishment. You're gonna demolish. The guy's way too slow. Shakur's too sharp, too fast, too strong.
Stevenson has completely outlined his game plan for handling Teofimo Lopez, building it around dominance both physically and mentally. He intends to break Lopez's timing and wear him down psychologically through precise footwork, non-stop feints, and clean counters that keep Teo guessing. Instead of just moving backward, Stevenson wants to make Lopez miss consistently, forcing overextension and draining his belief system round after round. Through controlling space and rhythm, he plans to dictate the pace and create Lopez mistakes, converting pressure into chances and banking clear rounds through calculated accuracy.
new you're specifically working on for this camp compared to the other camps you've done?
I think right now we just trying to stay mentally sharp. I don't want to go in there and try to make it a firefight. I just want to like box him and pick his brain and beat him up and make him want to quit. Mentally break somebody down, it's like I'm hitting you and you can't get anything back. You know, that's like frustrating for certain people. After a while, you know, people start to like quit mentally.
With fight night drawing closer, experts stay split on Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson, though one pattern has become obvious. This represents a battle between opposing philosophies with completely different routes to success. Shakur Stevenson comes in as the odds-maker's choice, widely projected to utilize superior distance management, precise timing, and mobility to outclass Lopez across 12 rounds, a strategic approach that certain fans dismiss as dull movement. Most observers expect Stevenson's method to overwhelm Lopez and earn him a judge's victory, despite mixed opinions on crowd appeal. Meanwhile, Lopez claims he's training to punch his way to glory, determined to silence doubters and deliver the type of knockout that has escaped him lately. In the end, this fight could hinge on whether Lopez's power can break Stevenson's flow, or if Stevenson's precision and ring intelligence will dominate.
We know that Shakur is very passionate about the sport. He's a kid that has always wanted to be considered the best in the sport. From the amateurs till now, he wants to be pound for pound top dog. He wants to be on Mount Rushmore, so on and so forth. Teofimo, I feel that he's had that passion, right? But he's had lapses to the, you know, at times where he thought about even quote unquote retired and said he was done with this game. Now, I don't know if that helps you because it creates this chip on your shoulder as a fighter to keep continuing to prove the world wrong that you are one of the best, or if it psychologically affects you against a guy like Shakur.
When you go against a guy like Shakur reminds me of Bud Crawford. You can't have those lapses. You can't have that kind of mindset. And I think, you know, Teo's been very vocal about the things that he struggled with. And, you know, he was going through a divorce and all of these things were making it really, really hard for him to focus on his first love. But that's the thing. Recently, he said he came back to his first love. He remembers that this is what got him everything he has. And he's back in love with boxing. And that's what we've been wanting to hear. And when we see a Teo like that, he's sharp against Josh Taylor. When we see a Teo like that, he's sharp against Lomachenko and also willing to fight all these guys. Now think about this. I know we call big, heavy punches the boogeyman, but usually the boogeyman is the guy that's hard to beat. And Shakur, nobody really wanted to fight him. And once again, Teofimo Lopez is fighting a dangerous fighter.
What's your take? Will Shakur dominate through movement and boxing intelligence, or can Teofimo's power and pressure steal the show? Drop your prediction and explain your reasoning.